Hello everyone, I am Kajal Kumari and I am an associate at JSV Consulting Private Limited. Today I am here to give you some information regarding STPI, its registration, the procedure of registration, why do we need the registration, its functions and every relevant thing about STPI. So let us move ahead. So the content we are going to cover is rules of export of services, the relevance of STPI, and at last STPI registration procedures. So let us begin with our very first topic, rules of export of services. So as per the rules of export of services, FEMA 2015, any entities that is dealing with export of software needs to provide certain information that is mandatory to the specified authority in some specified forms. So what are all these information? These are the information about the export value of goods or software that is being exported, and these information needs to be provided in certain sets, and after realization of export proceeds, the information of receiving the export receipt need to be communicated to the competent authority as well. So let us see how it is being done. So in case of export of software, the competent authority to whom the information needs to be submitted is STPI through submitting a form that we call as Softex form. So basically, Softex form is a sort of declaration form in which we provide all the information about our export, and we submit it to STPI. It is basically submitted in three copies, like in triplicate. And after certifying all the three copies, what STPI do is it forwards one copy to the Reserve Bank of India, and one copy it returns to the exporter, and one copy it keeps it to themselves for the official records. So now we have a very rough idea what STPI is. So let us have a brief knowledge of what Software and Technology Park of India is. So basically, it was set up in 1991 as an autonomous society by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So just like other department of central government, it is also a department. So it was basically set up to promote and to give sort of assistance and infrastructure and consultancy, anything that is needed by the IT sectors in order to foster the export of software. That was the main agenda of setting up of STPI, and it has done quite a remarkable job in last 30 years of its operation. So if you want to have more detail about it, you can visit the link given below. So let us proceed further and know what are the objectives of STPI. So as I said, the major objective of STPI was export and promotion, contribution to MSME, to improve the amount of data communication services, and to increase the quality of software and improve the requirements of software. So talking about the functions of STPI is to establish software technology parks at various locations in the country so that it's become reachable and accessible easily, to perform the financial management function, which comprises of the activities such as acquiring and managing funds, and to do all such acts and things as may be required to fulfill the objectives of STPI. So amongst the services of STPI, there are listed four services which the STPI provides. Talking about the first services, that is statutory services. So statutory services is exclusively for the 100% export oriented units. Under these services, it provides certain benefits to such units, which includes liberty to set up unit at anywhere in the country, 100% foreign equity is permitted, sales in domestic tariff area is permissible, and 100% depreciation on company and company peripherals can be availed. Talking on to next, the internet services or data communication services. So since the incorporation of STPI, that is since 1991, it has been pioneer in providing services, internet and data communication services. And the main feature of such services include high security and reliability. It is cost effective. It is the latest network management tools, and it provides 24/7 technical support. So the next services that STPI provides is the incubation services. So under incubation services, it is actually it is the facilities provided at pan India level to all the small and medium enterprises. It provides entire facility ready for commencing the operation by software units. So basically, if you have an idea and you need infrastructure to commence your business, STPI come up for help, and it provides all the needed infrastructure. under incubation services. So let's move on to the next, that is PMC services, that is project management consultancy services. Under this, the project management during implementation of the project by the experienced and well qualified managers is being provided by STPI. It provides certain other facilities as well. For example, IT consulting for IT audits as per international standards, and so on. At last, data center. So basically, to meet the increased expectation from the citizens for online services, and looking at the number of automation projects launched by the government, STPI is thinking of setting up data center throughout the nation, so to cater the needs of the government and PSUs and institutions, etc. So these were the basic services provided by STPI. Let's move ahead. So the benefits of STPI registrations, there are major two benefits of STPI registration, that it helps in GST refunds on export of services, and the second one is no import duty or custom on import of capital goods. So basically, if you are a registered unit under STPI and you need to import capital goods, so on that you need not to pay any import duty if you are registered under STPI. So we have talked much about STPI, and let us proceed further to know what is the procedure of STPI registration. So before moving to the STPI registration procedure, let's have a quick look on the prerequisites for the STPI registration. These information or documents you need to keep handy before proceeding for the STPI registration. So the first thing you need to do is to visit this link on your browser, and after that you need to click on I want to register as a new user unit. After clicking on that, a new registration tab will open up, and you need to fill all the basic details along with an active email ID and mobile number. One thing you need to make sure is that email ID and the phone number being provided should be correct, because on that you are going to receive your username and password, which would help you in further login procedure. So make sure it is correct. And another thing is, whatever email ID and phone number you're going to put here will be auto-fetched during the further procedure of registration. So make sure it is correct. After filling all the information, click on the register button. After clicking on the register button, it will show that successful registration, and the page will show registered successfully. And the username and the password would be sent to the provided email ID as well as mobile number. So you have to now log in with the user ID and password provided. After logging, a new tab will open up, and which will ask you to set up a new password as per your convenience. Here you can set any password as per your convenience, and after that you need to re-log in with the old username and the new password that you have set up. So after logging in, a new tab will open up, and here you need to select the user unit you want to get registered into. So there are following 5 user unit that the STPI gives options to. So these are STP, that is Software Technology Park. So if you're exclusively dealing with export of software, you need to register under STP. Then it is EHTP, Electronic and Hardware Technology Park. So if you're dealing with hardware and software simultaneously, you need to get yourself registered under EHTP. Non-STP, if you are not dealing with software, export of software at all, you need to register yourself under non-STP. Incubation, as I said, if you need infrastructure for the commencement of business, you can register under incubations, and if you are under Startup India scheme, you can register yourself under startups. So since we are dealing here with the export of software, I have selected STPI. So after selecting STPI, a new dashboard will open up with a list of different tabs specifying different information that need to be provided. So first you need to click on the company details under the head applicant details, and you need to fill up all the information. So once you will fill up the applicant detail, all the tabs on the left hand side corner would be accessible, and you can fill it in any sequence. There is no bar as of what tab have to be filled first. You can put your own sequence, and you can fill according to your convenience, but you have to fill the details and have to click save. There are total 15 tabs which needs to be filled, and all the mandatory field of the application form is a must to be filled. You cannot skip any information and move further. You have to fill all the mandatory information, and then only you can move further. So the tab includes promoter details, director details, contact details, capital structure, investment details, projection details, collaborations, foreign exchange details, manpower details, expertise, other details, and upload documents. So you need to upload all the documents that is being asked. And at last, after filling all the required information and uploading the documents, you need to click on the final submit button. And after clicking on the final submit button, the following screen will appear. You need to recheck the information filled and click on the application fees. So make sure before clicking on the application fees, you recheck the information that it is being accurately and correctly filled. And then you should click on the application fees. So after clicking on the application fees, a new tab will open up, which will ask you to pay 2,950 rupees. You have to pay it through UPI ID, and then you have to put all the transaction details that is asked, and then you have to click on save. So after clicking on save, following homepage will open, and you have to click on a final submit application. Post clicking the final submit application, the application cannot be modified or altered. So make sure that before clicking on the final submit application, all the information that is being provided and all the documents that has been uploaded should be correct, and it is not any wrong information provided. So after that, a dialog box will appear showing your application has been successfully submitted. The dialog box will show the option for downloading the application that form submitted. So make sure to download the application before closing the browser. So this is the entire application procedures. So I hope it was helpful to you. Thank you all for sticking to the end. Thank you.